Today, we're going to talk a little bit about how Mayday came to be, how it was working with Kagami-senpai, how everything came together on my end, where I did the instrumental, mixing, and mastering, and all that cool stuff. Gosh, I'm happy that it turned out as well as it did, because I feel like a lot of people, especially myself, have been anticipating something like this. And I was pretty secretive about it. I didn't really let on that there was anything going on behind the scenes, so it was quite the surprise to just sort of drop this on you, weren't you? The way that it all came about was that my wonderful manager asked if there are any people in Nijisanji JP that I would like to collaborate with. And this was months ago, easily over 6 months ago. And of course, I said that one of the people I would love to collaborate with was Kagami Hayato senpai, because I am a very, very big fan of his streams, his personality, his singing, his music, all that stuff. So that's one of the highest ones that I put on that list. I put a bunch of people from JP on there that introduced me to Nijisanji that I've been admiring for a long time. And then later, one day, I got poked by manager-san. I just received word from Kagami Hayato-san that he's interested in doing a collaboration with you. Would you be interested in this? And I just flew out of my seat and said, yes! Yes, please! So that's how we communicated for a large part. Usually when livers plan things, we just speak to each other. We just speak a little bit back and forth in DMs over Discord and whatnot. However, it wasn't the case this time because I was really, really nervous with speaking to Kagami-senpai. So in the beginning, we just kind of communicated with each other through our managers. So that's how most of it went. We were able to meet in call once. We had our managers there that helped interpret and translate whenever my very limited Japanese wasn't able to carry the conversation. And I'm sure when I spoke English, it was very difficult for Kagami-senpai to follow. So thank you very much, Manager-san. You are a champion. And we sort of brainstormed a little bit about what we wanted to do, if we wanted to do a collaboration in a traditional sense, or if we wanted to do a cover. And we settled on cover since we're both music guys. So eventually we ended up settling on Cold Rain. Specifically, we went with Mayday. And the reason why I wanted to suggest a Cold Rain song is because Cold Rain is a Japanese band, but they sing completely in English, thanks to their vocalist, Masato-san, who is fluent in English. So I thought that was a really good idea to sort of get a little bit of JP, get a little bit of EN, and mix them together. A Japanese band singing in English. It was a little bit perfect in that kind of sense. Plus, I know that Mayday was used as the opening, or the second opening, for the anime Fire Force, which I know is very, very popular. So I thought that, yeah, overseas fans are really, really gonna be excited for this one, I think. So we went with Mayday, and we sort of set up who was gonna handle what. Kagami-senpai offered to handle getting a illustrator and a person to do the MV, and I offered to do the mixing and the instrumental. And that's how it went. I put the instrumental together, which took about a week and a half or so. Then I sent that over. It's sort of nothing really happened for a while because obviously both of us are very, very busy. But eventually, actually when I was on my 2-week break, if you guys remember, that's when I received Kagami-senpai's vocals for Mayday, and I nearly flew out of my seat when that happened. I listened to them on my laptop, and I just started bouncing around the walls, thinking to myself, oh, I want to go home and mix this, because it sounded so good. And then when I got home, I mixed in Kagami-senpai's vocals, and I took 2 days to record my own vocals, 1 day for cleans, and 1 day for screams, because I wanted to do cleans first and then screams, so I could have the most pristine, clean vocals possible before I decide to give my throat a run for its money with the screaming. That's how Mayday came together. I think we started working on Mayday proper in July. Had most of it finished around like the late September. And then it was just waiting on things to get finished on other avenues. But you guys want to see some behind the scenes on the actual mix, on the instrumental? So let's go over here and see if we can get this to work properly. Did you guys notice the Easter egg that I snuck into the song? Yes, there is a Easter egg at the very beginning in the radio chatter, because the radio chatter is actually me. So here's what the beginning sounds like. Here. Did you guys catch it? Did you catch the Easter egg? Yeah, you guys noticed it. The code that I am ratting off is 2434. Niji Sanji. If I take away all the effects, it's gonna sound cringe. So please don't laugh at me, but this is what it sounded like. Get sighted. Mayday, mayday. We got a code 2434. And then with the voice changer.
Get sighted. Mayday, mayday. We got a code 2434.
Sounds really funny. And then you add the distortion.
Get sighted. Mayday, mayday. We got a code 2434.
And then you add the radio static.
Get sighted. Mayday, mayday. We got a code 2434.
So that's what it sounds like. And that's for the vocals. Ah, the vocals. Okay, so here's what our vocals sound like, completely raw with nothing on them. Take what you've got and leave now.
You wouldn't count to wake him. No one here wants to see you.
Oh, that was the harmonies, sorry.
Wake him.
No one here wants to see you, hear you. Think that you've won from day one, but so the devil will come. You know just why he wants you, don't you? But that's not what we want to hear. We want to hear how it sounds like with effects, because that's how it sounds big and thick and all that stuff. And that sounds more like this. Take what you've got and leave now.
You wouldn't count to wake him.
No one here wants to see you, hear you. Think that you've won from day one, but so the devil will come. You know just why he wants you, don't you? Yay. Gosh, Kagami-senpai did an amazing job with the vocals. He jumps in from time to time with his mains here, but he's also on the harmonies. And the harmonies in this song are really, really high. And he belts them like an absolute champion. I am so impressed when I first heard them, like...
No one here wants to see you, hear you.
He sings them so freaking well. You might see down here that Kagami-senpai jumps in sometimes to sort of add layers to my screams to give them a little bit more punch, like these things. And it adds so much.
Left us in disarray, misguided, divided, at the point of no reason. Yes, sir.
Really, really cool stuff. I love that he did that. I was so excited to put those in. And also, like Kagami-senpai did earlier with layering his own screams with my May screams to sort of thicken it up a little bit. I did the same thing here.
Just fucking go.
So altogether, it sounds like this.
What in the chucking the sound? Spot is the kind of a just fucking go.
It sounds thick. We love a thick scream. Oh yeah, I should mention, for how we divided up parts, originally, we were thinking about dividing it up between, just as it is in the original, between Masato and Ryo. But me and Kagami-senpai thought that it was a little bit uneven. The one who decided which parts should go to who was Kagami-senpai. He's the one that did the actual scripting of the parts.
歌割りは、メイデーの歌割りは実は原曲を参考に、自分のマネージャーさんから、こんなんどうですって提案あって、ほぼほぼそれに準拠した形ですね。
And a lot of people seemingly thought that I was the only one singing the chorus. That is incorrect. It is both me and Kagami-senpai, because our voices blend so well that we kind of sound like one person. Here's what that sounds like.
Every bridge we build, you think it's yours to burn it down, just burn it down. When everything is gone, you wish you only heard us out.
And on the harmonies, we have Kagami-senpai. And let me tell you, the harmonies, like I said it earlier, but I'll say it again. The harmonies in this song they're high. They're really high. And Kagami-senpai belts them in full, like, with so much power. And it was just mind blown. Listen to how high this is. It's so high, but he nails it, and it sounds beautiful. Like, oh my god, I love how the chorus came out.
Every bridge we build, you think it's yours to burn it down, just burn it down.
Yeah. And there was also a thing here. I sent a couple of versions to Kagami-senpai when I was working on the instrumental. And he had some notes of things he wanted me to like add and fix. And I'm very glad that he did, because I forgot this little filtered drum section here. And I'm so glad that he pointed it out because it adds so much to the song. So once he pointed that out, I added that back in there, and it sounds really, really cool. And I'm very glad because if it's not there, it doesn't sound the same. So it sounds like this. How long did it take to do this? Around a week and a half. I think the most annoying part for me was copying the drums from the original because it's just listening to the original over and over and over and clicking out every single drum hit by hand. You see all of these dots? Every single one of these dots, every single one, I clicked out by hand. Yes, I remember a long time ago when I was talking about Cold Rain and how I would love to sing Mayday and I needed someone else to do Dio's part. I will fully admit when I said that, in my mind, I was just thinking like, please, can it be Kagami-senpai? I would love for it to be Kagami-senpai, and yay, that dream came true.